While most change jingles unnoticed in our pockets, a single 1981 dime can whisper secrets of shifting mint policies, curious errors, and unexpected windfalls. Today's spotlight zeroes in on a piece of metal that millions thought was just spare change, but which has quietly become a treasure for anyone who knows what to look for. Buckle in as we explore how a humble United States one dime from 1981 has captured the imagination of seasoned collectors and why you might want to double-check that pocketful of coins before you spend them. The story of the 1981 dime begins with a subtle shift at the Denver and Philadelphia mints as they coped with a surge in production following economic booms and silver price fluctuations. While earlier dimes boasted 90% silver, the transition to the clad composition was complete by 1965, leaving the 1981 issue entirely struck in copper-nickel layers sandwiching a pure copper core. Mint director Mary Brooks had already overseen major changes, but by 1981 the mints were experimenting with different pressure settings on coining presses to balance die wear against high-volume output. This technical nuance would inadvertently give rise to a handful of misstrikes and misaligned features that collectors would clamor for years later. At first glance, the 1981 dime seems routine. Franklin Roosevelt's profile, oak branch, torch, and olive sprig elegantly arranged on a coin barely larger than a thumbnail. Yet beneath that familiar visage lies a story of post-war design continuity meeting modern industrial precision. Engraver Frank Gasparo's portraits took on a smoother finish in that year, a choice driven by both aesthetic preference and machinery capability. Officials puzzled over tiny die rotations and subtle doubling effects that appeared in trial strikes. But the population of these anomalous pieces remained so low that they vanished into circulation long before discovery. Collectors soon uncovered a handful of 1981 dimes bearing a dramatic rim break at the edge of the torch, where the die cracked under pressure and allowed a sliver of metal to intrude between die and planchet. Known as a cud error, this variation offers a raised, blob-like feature on the coin's periphery rather than a clean border line. Equally prized are specimens showing off-center strikes, where the planchet wasn't perfectly aligned beneath the die, resulting in part of the design spilling into the coin's non-existent blank area. These quirks, once dismissed as minting mistakes, became the hallmarks of rarity for this otherwise common date. Beyond these misalignments lie the true identifying marks that separate a standard circulation strike from a collector's gem. Seek out coins where the torch's flame lobes remain sharply defined, with no smudging or doubling visible under 10-power magnification. The mint mark, whether the cursive D of Denver or the block-style P of Philadelphia, should appear evenly filled with metal, without voids or dips that hint at a weak die strike. Under grazing light, a faint fibrous texture may reveal the exact pressure settings used that day, and knowledgeable numismatists prize that textural fingerprint above the plainest coin in a change roll. When it comes to current market values, the story can feel like watching a stock ticker on a hot streak. A standard 1981D or 1981P dime in well-worn, circulated condition might fetch merely 20 cents over face value among casual dealer buys. Yet a mint-state specimen graded MS65 could command between $15 and $25 at auction, depending on eye appeal and surface quality. Auction records peaked in early 2024 when a particularly crisp MS67 example sold for $88 against pre-sale estimates of $60 to $80. That sale redefined expectations for how far governor grading and collector competition can push even a late 20th century dime. There is a captivating tale behind the highest graded 1981 dime ever recorded. A retired postal worker from rural Pennsylvania noticed an uncirculated roll among her change drawer stash, and after a tip from a neighbor, she submitted one coin for grading. The results stunned her, and the grading house, when it emerged with a near-perfect strike grade, complete with full mint luster and no trace of bag marks. That single submission sparked a small frenzy on popular numismatic forums, elevating the 1981 dime from relative obscurity to a must-watch date for modern-era collectors. Even more intriguing are the condition-based value swings that occur with this issue. A dime in about uncirculated grade, AU50, might show minimal hairlines on Roosevelt's cheek and light contact marks, yet still sell for $5 to $7. Jump to MS63 and that price doubles, as full luster restores the coin's original brightness. Beyond MS65, each incremental grade can mean a $5 to $10 increase, reflecting not just rarity, but the collector's preference for flawless surfaces. At MS67, the tiniest nick can shave off a significant chunk of value. So many collectors pay premiums for coins that marry perfect preservation with optimal strike. Condition matters even more when dealing with era varieties. A partially off-center 1981 dime in VF30 might still fetch $50 if the offset is dramatic and eye-catching, because the visual crookedness appeals to error collectors even when other details were flat. Conversely, a subtle cut error on a well-worn planchet could languish in dealer bins at just a few dollars above face. The interplay between the error type, its visibility, and the coin's overall state creates a fascinating value spectrum unique to this date. Ultimately, the 1981 dime stands as a testament to how modern minting quirks can rival the legends of earlier rarities. What began as high-volume change for everyday purchases has transformed into a nuanced pursuit for the discerning enthusiast. With the right knowledge, and perhaps a lucky find in your pocket, you could unearth a piece of history that pays dividends in both stories and dollars. Keep an eye out, trust a good loupe, and consider the golden rule of coin collecting. Even the least glamorous dates may hide the brightest treasures. Shifting our focus now to the 1986 dime, it stands as a testament to how even well into the clad era, the U.S. Mint continued to surprise collectors with quirks that almost defy belief. Whereas the 1981 issue leaned into mint press experiments, the 1986 release coincided with a surge in demand driven by a strong economy and a fascination with modern numismatics. Philadelphia and Denver presses churned out over 650 million coins combined, yet a handful slipped through the cracks with anomalies that today can leave seasoned collectors grinning ear to ear. That year, the Mint was under pressure to meet both everyday pocket change needs and an eager numismatic market hungry for proof sets and special collector rolls. Director Donna Pope oversaw enhancements to quality control, hoping to stamp out the remnants of minor die flaws seen in earlier years. Despite these efforts, a surprising number of doubled dies emerged, most notably on Philadelphia's P mint mark specimens, where slight misalignments during hubbing left crisp lines that appeared to shadow Roosevelt's profile. These doubled dies, once discovered by eagle-eyed hobbyists scanning rolls, quickly earned a reputation as some of the most accessible errors from the mid-1980s. Beneath Roosevelt's steady gaze, the torch, olive branch, and oak sprig carry on a legacy of symbolism, but in 1986 the more interesting story lies in microscopic details. Collectors love to point out that the reading on certain Denver minted dimes appears thicker than usual, a byproduct of subtle die polishing techniques intended to extend die life. When light catches the coin just right, that extra heft on the rim can be spotted without magnification, offering an immediate clue to its origin. Another attribute setting select examples apart is a slight doubling on the "In God We Trust" legend, discernible under 5-power magnification and often enough to boost a coin from pocket change to prized find. Market values for the 1986 dime range broadly depending on whether you're chasing common strikes or those elusive doubled dies and off-center marvels. At face value, a typical circulated example might trade for just a few cents above 10-digit face, reflecting bulk dealer roll pricing. Yet move into uncirculated territory, say an MS60 example with full detail but a few hairlines, and values jump into the $3 to $5 range. By MS65, many auctions see bids between $10 and $15 for coins boasting full mint luster and minimal contact marks. A standout MS67 specimen sold in late 2023 for $72, outpacing industry predictions by 20% thanks to exceptional eye appeal and razor-sharp striking quality. An unexpected headline in early 2024 featured a Pennsylvania schoolteacher who turned an unremarkable jar of spare change into a small windfall. In that stash, she found a 1986 P dime exhibiting a serious off-center strike, nearly 40% of the design missing and a blank planchet showing through. After professional grading pegged it at VF30 for condition and certified the off-center error, she saw offers top $150 from multiple error specialists. Her story quickly circulated online, prompting collectors to sift through piggy bank finds with renewed enthusiasm. Beyond the doubled dies and off-center dimes, a much rarer variety exists. The 1986 Spitting Eagle error on proof strikes, where a die chip near the eagle's beak inverts a tiny sliver of metal into the surrounding field. Proof coins weren't intended for circulation, yet a few mixed into mint sets destined for collectors unaware of their potential value. These proof die anomalies can command anywhere from $200 to $500 in top grades, as certified examples remain almost non-existent in dealer inventories. Turning to identifying features, the keen collector's eye will scan Roosevelt's chin and neck for faint die cracks, another hallmark of the 1986 Philadelphia die pipeline. Under angled light, these fine lines trace from the rim into the portrait, and their presence, even if they don't rise fully above the surface, signals genuine mint die activity rather than later damage. On Denver strikes, look for a perfectly centered D mint mark with no signs of doubling. Oddly enough, a single shift in hubbing alignment on a trial die batch produced a handful of D over horizontal line mint marks that now trade at a premium. Condition variations remain a driving factor in value. A well-worn dime graded VG8, revealing flattened details on Roosevelt's hair and a smooth torch flame, typically sells around $1.50 to $2 in the secondary market. Jump up to YF40 and that price doubles, as collectors prize sharper definition in the main devices. In the uncirculated realm, MS63 coins with full luster but usual bag marks go for $8 to $12, while MS66 examples, boasting exceptional surfaces and strong strike, reach $25 to $35. Each single point that rises to MS67 Plus can add another $10 to $20, subject to eye appeal and absence of distracting marks. Auction houses report that demand for 1986-era varieties has eclipsed that of simple uncirculated dimes in recent years, thanks to active online marketplaces connecting niche collectors. A particularly sought-after find is the 1986 doubled reverse dime, where the olive sprig and oak branch appear to ghost beneath themselves. Certified MS64 examples of this variety traded for over $120 in early 2025, fueled by bidding wars among those who specialize in modern errors. Stories behind these coins often involve chance discoveries in local laundromats or on Coinstar trays. As casual savers sift out pennies and nickels, a dime with dramatic misprint suddenly glints under fluorescent light. One retired firefighter recalled finding a 1986 D dime with a minute die chip on the torch's left side, purchasing it at face value in a charity raffle, and later watching its value climb to $45 once certified. Tales like this underscore how a routine pocket check can yield unexpected riches. Collectors also debate which condition suits 1986 dimes best. Some insist on pristine proof-like surfaces, while others chase the character that light circulation imparts, a faint patina, and subtle bag marks that tell a coin's journey. As a result, coins graded AU58, exhibiting only the slightest rub on Roosevelt's cheek, often sell within a narrow band of $8 to $12, striking a balance between rarity and affordability. Meanwhile, full-blown mint state pieces with textbook frost on devices and softly mirrored fields can demand multiples of that amount. To sum up this chapter on the 1986 Roosevelt dime, it's clear that its appeal lies not just in face value or silver legacy, but in the rich interplay of mint state grades, striking anomalies, and human stories that breathe life into each specimen. Whether you're hunting doubled dies under a loop or spotting off-center wonders in a jar of change, this humble dime continues to reward patience, expertise, and a bit of luck. Keep that collection toolbox handy. You never know when the next coin to rewrite expectations might turn up.